What's up?
What's going on? How you
Made
doing?
it, finally. I was, okay, for the record, I was on time. I was.
I was just having my own monologue, and I was like, kind of getting
You're
too
kind of,
far.
you're really good at those.
Thanks, dude. What are you up to? I know we actually were live on your Insta like a couple days ago, so I kind of know what you're up to.
It
But
was yesterday.
was that yesterday?
I
No,
think it was yesterday. Was it?
it
Yeah.
was it was Tuesday.
I don't
It's
even know what day it is.
nobody
But
knows
this,
what day it is. What do you
but this
mean?
is the thing. For tennis players, that is very common. So I never know what day it is, what time it is, if it's the weekend, if it's a weekday. There are no weekends. It's like it's the week, all week, every week.
No, I'll agree with that. Like, I either know what time I have to leave for the airport,
Mm-hmm.
what time I have to practice. Tell me
How
what,
early
like,
do you get to the airport? How early does Bethany mattek-sands show up for her flights?
not early. Let me tell you, there have been a few moments where I'm
Close
running
calls?
gate, sweating, like barely making it on time. I've never missed a flight, but I'm never early. And I should be. Like, I want to go shopping at duty free. Like, why don't I get there early and go shopping?
Okay, I want to just know one thing. With the amount of international travel that we do, we see some stuff. Okay?
Where are we going
and
with this? I'm ready.
and like I want to know why people wait until the very last minute to go to duty free and buy all this stuff. I think I was where was it? I think I was in Beijing last year, or I was somewhere. I was somewhere far, far away. I saw like legit 3 or 4 people walking out with 8 different shopping bags. Like, you couldn't do that while you were on vacation.
I don't know. Like, I'm never early enough to go shopping at duty free. Like, so I don't. I can't relate.
I have to walk straight to the chocolate section because they buy, like, you can buy it in bulk, and you can get a Kinder Bueno that's the size of your face.
Like the big Toblerones that should last you for like a year and a half.
But
those ones.
Okay, let's be honest, a year and a half, but they probably only last like 10 minutes. Like,
you finish them before you land. Don't lie.
No, before I take off, they're already on. Sorry,
I'm gonna look for you now.
Then. I just sit down. I just sit down and I'm like, yep, let's go. Let's just. There's something about airports that makes you want to eat food.
Yeah, it's and unnecessary food. Like, when else am I eating that kind of food? Never. I mean, and when else am I paying like $47 for like a bag?
A Cinnabon.
The airport is a lawless place. Let's be real. People are laying on the floors. You're like waiting in line for bathrooms.
Have you ever taken a nap on the floor?
Personally, no. It has not gotten to that point for me yet. I've maneuvered my bags on the chair and everything, so I'm somewhat laying down, but I haven't gone on the floor yet.
What has been your most like chaotic travel experience? Because Bethany's been on tour for way longer than I have. So, I mean, I know you have. They called me a veteran at 22 years old. So,
you've
been
playing pro tournaments since you've been like 7.5. What do you mean? You have been around for a while.
7.5. Jesus.
Okay, so craziest travel story. All right, so I have a few, but one that sticks out in particular. I was in Moscow, and I ended up being one out of the tournament. Okay, so I was there practicing.
Qualies?
Didn't play, and I remember, didn't play.
Okay.
I sprained my ankle on the practice court, so like it was kind of a disaster already. And I'm like, all right, I got to go home. Like, first flight home, I got to go home. So I got this really early flight to go back to Florida after this tournament. So I leave the next day. Okay, I get in the taxi, waiting for me. It's about 4 a.m. So
I can only imagine where this is going.
4 a.m. So we're going. I got all my bags. And you know what? This day, I decided to wear these lace-up knee-high boots. Like, they were like sneaker boots, but still, like, they were the kind that you had to like lace up like 16 laces to like take them on and off. So anyways, I was like, okay, I'm looking super cute. It's 4 a.m., whatever. So we get to the airport and I have all my bags. You have to go through security just to get into the airport. So I got to unload everything, load it back up. I'm looking for the desk, the check-in desk, and no, nothing's open. And I was like, did I get the time right? Like, so I'm trying to find someone that speaks English. Luckily, I find a stewardess randomly walking by, and I showed her my ticket. I was like, where do I need to go? Like, and mind you, I'm by myself. Okay, I'm by myself.
No Justin.
And she's like, no Justin. This is before Justin, if you can imagine this. This is pre-Justin.
Oh my God, life before Justin, ladies and gentlemen.
This goes back a ways. So she looks at my ticket and she's like, you're at the wrong airport.
No.
And I was like like the wrong building, like terminal. She's like, no. There's 2 airports in Moscow. Like, you're at the wrong one. And I was like, well, how far away is the other airport? And she's like, well, it depends on traffic, but at least 45 minutes.
No.
Like, panic. So, okay, so transportation nobody's up. Like, transportation isn't up. Like, tour ops, like, I'm too early. So I'm like running. Picture this. I'm like running with these boots. I'm running over to the taxi line with like probably 4 bags, run in a taxi, take all my rubles that I have and like give it to the guy. And I was like, just pointing at my wrist. I'm like, we got to go. I was like, other airport, like, go. I'm telling you, this guy's going like 150 miles an hour on the highway. We slide into the correct airport in Moscow. I throw all my bags on one of those wheels, get there, go through security, get to the desk, like I'm sweating, like dying. I'm like, all right, here it is. I make it on time, okay? I'm like legit make it on time. I think it's because I wasn't connecting directly to the US, so I had a little bit more time. I had a European connection. Okay, fine. So I'm like, thank God, managed to make it. So for some reason, there was just this massive amount of security. So I'm going through the Moscow airport, first security checkpoint. Okay, let me undo all my laces, take these cute boots off, go put them through the belt, get back on, lace them back up. Fine. All right. Keep walking. I'm telling you what, I had to take these boots on and off like 6 times this whole travel day. I think I had a layover in Germany. They had like this 2-person elevator. There's a long line. I'm late. All American flights have extra security. So I'm like, now take the stairs in these fur boots, legit fur boots. And 9 staircases later, I finally get to like the US security point. So anyways, I remember calling my boyfriend at the time once I finally got on the plane. And
boyfriend that's like, not Justin?
That's not Justin. Yes, that's not Justin. And just being like, I made it. And hung up. Like, I was so pissed and like sweating. And I threw the boots away too, by the way.
Yeah, I would too.
That almost broke me.
I would too. I would just be like, goodbye. Like, I wanted to look cute. I wanted to do this. I wanted to do that. And
nope. Yep. So now, lesson learned. I check which airport I have to go to. Okay.
And also, lesson learned that it is better to go on an airplane with pajamas than any other thing. You never never. That is the thing. I never look cute in an airplane. Never. Never. I throw on my leggings, tennis shoes, baggy sweater. I'm good. So if I have to see somebody, I always do this. I always pack an extra set of clothes. The minute I arrive to the airport, I go, I change, do my makeup and all that, and okay, I'm ready to go. But other than that,
and then you just tell people, like, this is how I travel. Like, this is how I wake up. So
I woke up like this.
I like the play. No, I appreciate the play. I now travel in shoes that I actually don't even need to untie. Like, I just slip.
I have some Converse that I just got in Indian Wells. I went to the Converse outlet that's like 30 minutes from where I was staying in Palm
by
Desert.
the way, how good is that outlet mall?
That outlet mall is like ridiculously good. But here's the thing. Funny story. So you know how it's all warm in Indian Wells and it's beautiful weather usually. Okay, so it was kind of overcast. And I had the day off, so you know, we tell our team, okay, let's go to the outlets. Like we need to just And it was like what, 75 degrees in Palm Springs. We go there and I'm again, like you, I want to look all cute. I have my sandals on, jeans and like a nice tank top or whatever.
Yes.
I get there and the temperature dropped like 15 degrees from Palm Desert to where we were going. I was like, what just happened? And my mom is like, you're gonna get a cold. First up, you need to get Monica a sweater. And so we were like, go. I didn't even want a sweater, and yet we're going in every single store to find a sweater. So I just go into, I think it was what is it, like
That's
All Saints or Rag and Bone, and I just buy a men's sweater and I just throw it on and I'm like, okay.
I mean, that's a very mom thing to do. She's concerned.
Yeah, she's everybody's mom on tour.
She is. Mm-hmm. She always comes up to me, gives me a big hug. She comes up to me whether I win or lose.
We should recruit her to be in like the WTA guidance counselor.
Yes, official mom of the tour though. Like just like if you lose, like go up
her and Margarita McHale.
Okay. Yes, this is true. They've been great actually.
They got together. So we rented for the first time in my career. We rented an Airbnb at Indian Wells.
Okay.
And that was amazing because I get sick of staying in hotels all the time.
Yes.
So we were doing barbecues almost every single night. And upon hearing that we were having barbecues.
This year?
This year.
I didn't get an invite to the barbecue.
I barely even saw you. I don't know where you were.
True. We won't talk about Indian Wells this year. That was a little bit of a...
Indian Wells was crazy. No, but anyway.
Because I saw you in the locker room at Indian Wells.
We saw each other like once.
And you were a little upset.
Yeah, because I had to pull out of the tournament.
Which ended up not...
I never do that stuff. I never pull out of events.
I know, but look, it was a smart thing to do. We both have had our share of injuries. Actually, we went to the same surgeon. Did you know that? You knew that, right?
I'll check.
Yeah. So we were both at a hospital for special surgery in New York City. Monica, elbow. Mine was for my knee and my hip.
Did you have yours? Well, your knee, the injury that happened at Wimbledon.
Yes. That was
because I was gonna say, did you visit him and he just said surgery right away? Because this was my experience. So I was having discomfort. So in my last tournament, I was in Luxembourg, and my arm was feeling all sorts of shady. It was terrible. And so I finished the tournament. I was like, okay, rest. You know, I had a week and a half. I went to Aruba on vacation. I was like, this is the life. I am just enjoying myself. It's so great. I come back. I start with all like the preparations. I was hitting like lights out. Like I've never had such a good preseason. I was so enthusiastic. I was hitting great. 3 weeks, and with 3 weeks left, I'm like, I am going to crush at Australia. Like I'm so excited. Okay. And one day, you know, well, for the 3 weeks, my elbow was just killing me. So this is what happened. Like, I always have aches and pains, as we all do, when we start coming back after, like, a little break.
Yes.
And then there was just one day where I couldn't brush my hair. I couldn't brush my teeth. I couldn't do anything. And I got so mad. And I sometimes get pissed off on the tennis court, but I never get mad to the fact that I was in a pretty pissy mood. So I like threw my racket on the ground. I was like, oh my God.
Danger zone when Monica's in a pissy mood, by the way.
Oh God, no. Like take cover. Run for the hills, literally. So
I always approach you slowly when I see that face of yours.
But this is the face.
Okay, buddy?
That's the face.
Yeah. I'm like, all right, approach with caution.
Yeah, but you always make me laugh, so it's okay. And yeah, so you know, figuring things out with my agent, like what should we do? I had an MRI. I was getting all of these different opinions from all these different doctors. I was like, no, I am done with one person saying this, one person saying that. And thankfully IMG and my agent and Maria's agent actually have good connections with HSS. So I fly into New York And my mom was like, okay, Monica, do we book a round trip? And I was like, no, I have a bad feeling about this. Let's book a one way, because if I'm in this much pain, it's probably not going to be a like, hey, no, it's okay. Just take some days off and then you'll be fine. So
which is always what we hope for.
Seriously, that was like best case scenario. But the thing is, it was just feeling really crappy. So I have breakfast at 5:30 in the morning, and we're like, okay, we're ready to go. I have my fitness coach, I have my mom, and they're like trying to calm me down because I was really nervous. Not about, the possibility of having surgery, but because the season was only 3 weeks away.
Yeah.
And I see the doctor at 8, and literally he has me running around. First of all, he says, who did this MRI? Because it was crap. And I was
again.
I did it down here in Miami. I had to do it in a rush, like all of this stuff. He's like, yeah, before I say anything, let's just get you back in there. So I was like 45 minutes doing all of these different MRIs, bone scans, everything. Thank God they actually have their facility in like in the basement of their inpatient offices. So I did all of that, and he comes in the room and he's all chipper and stuff. I'm like, is it good news? Like, okay. And he's like, well, Monica, you need surgery. And I was like, oh, God. And he's like, yep, we found the problem. This is the problem, blah, 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 blah. And then he's like, when was the last time you had breakfast? Or like, when was the last time you ate? And I said, 5:30. He's like, alrighty then, 5 o'clock, you're having surgery. I was like, what?
Like, whoa.
I was like,
mentally.
so I can't eat anything. That was my only concern, was not being able to have food until after surgery. I mean, I woke up from the surgery, I guess it was like 6:15, and I wasn't even in the mood to eat. I was just kind of like crying from like I was in pain. And then the nurse said that I kept asking for my mom.
When you wake up from the surgery, how were you? Because I have a story about when I woke up from my surgery too. Because
I woke up crying. I was like, the nurse, she's like, how are you feeling? I was like, it hurts so bad. And mind you, I'm still groggy. I'm still kind of drugged out. And she's like, okay, do you want me to bring anybody in the room? And I was like, you can bring everybody. I don't care. So she's like, no, because you're like a little bit distressed. Like, can you pick one person? And she's like talking to me all calm, and my mom loved this. She wishes they would have gotten it on video. I was like, I want my mom. And then they told her, my mom's like, she looks at my fitness coach. She's like, ha ha. She asked for me. Eventually, he did end up coming in, but like, yeah, my mom was really proud of that moment.
I had the opposite reaction. Like, I was crying, but I came out pissed. Like, I'm glad it wasn't recorded. I was dropping F-bombs. I was like mad at anyone around me. I heard someone complaining to the person next to me. Like, it was like, there was a different side of Bethany that, and
that people aren't used to.
Once the drugs kind of wore off and everything, I saw some of the doctors and I was like, I am so sorry. I am actually a pretty nice person, and that was not me. I really hope you don't judge me.
I was just happy that they were going to slice me open. Like, I asked the doctor, too. I was like, am I going to have the surgery that you, like, literally go in and just make tiny incisions, or are you going to, like... He's like, yeah, you're going to have a big scar, and I was like, yes. All right, I was so excited. I don't know why, but it's like, yeah, my first surgery was nice to have a battle scar at least.
There we go. Awesome. Own it. Okay, so did you bring this out? So where do you keep it? Tell me, where do you keep it? Do you keep it out?
So I keep it at my parents' house because since I don't have a house of my own yet, I would like to wait until I do. Hopefully that's soon. And then I will display it very nicely. But funny story, actually, I think I like the swivel box a lot more than the actual metal. Like, I remember when Simone Biles got all of her medals and she was posting it on Instagram, everybody's like, that looks like like highlighters, like in
Yeah.
the thing. Like they're all asking where are the makeup brushes? Because that looks like highlighter.
No, this is like, okay, we need to like swivel it open a couple times and show everyone how it works.
Yeah. So there's a magnet on the
Here we go.
inside. And then you just, oh, you're doing it that way. That I should have probably done that too.
I mean, you
So,
were being super talented.
yeah.
So initially, I actually got the wrong case and I had the wrong colored pin. They gave me a bronze pin, but I
Yeah,
got
no,
that
no.
corrected.
Nope.
So then you
And
just
then,
swivel it
yeah,
closed.
you swivel it closed.
How heavy are these though? Come on now.
No, I had to
I've
do
felt
so
it.
much media the day after, and my neck was killing me. Look at this, you guys. So it's like this, Rio 2016, and then yeah.
That's where it
Funny
says
story,
what you.
I did not see this until like maybe 3 months after I had it.
I
So
know.
put it on. Put the hardware on. I haven't
All right,
worn
let's
it
put
in
this
a
on.
while.
All
Like,
right, let's put this on here. I haven't put it on that much. All right, hold on. There we go.
the baby.
Ah.
Mine still, my thingy still smells like sweat.
My, I mean, it was funny because I actually didn't even notice this until someone asked me, like, where does it say what you won the gold medal for? And I was like,
Yeah.
that's a good question. I could just be like,
3
gymnastics.
months.
Hi,
It took me
guys.
3 months to realize that it says tennis women's singles underneath.
Are we just going to wear this all day now? I think we should, actually.
I am very much
Now that,
in agreement.
all right. I mean, now that we have to wait till 2021, I mean, what do you think about that?
I'm just happy that I can keep the title for another year.
And heal up after our
That
surgeries.
too, because that was also a big question mark. I didn't know if I was going to be able or ready to compete in Tokyo yet. So that, I mean, all of this, while it's been crazy, it's like a blessing in disguise for people who have been injured.
Yep. No, for real. And look, I thought when I saw you at the Olympics, I saw you at the opening ceremonies in the stadium when we were waiting. I thought we were going to trade some Puerto Rico gear for some USA gear. I still need to get some.
I would definitely take, your stuff was ridiculous.
I know we have, like USA, I'm not going to lie, because they have Nike, they have Polo Ralph Lauren, and then the swags you get.
I heard about your whole shopping experience.
Like,
yep. Team USA had a warehouse.
Yeah,
full of swagged out gear. Nike,
yeah. You would
Ralph
go from
Lauren,
like room to room, picking
Omega,
out like your watch, your
like
phones, your gear, your shoes, like everything. Like it was pretty sweet.
Yeah, so I'm still a medium / small. If you're willing to send me some of your stuff, I will gladly wear it because it is beautiful.
Yes, I will send you some stuff, but I just need a Puerto Rico shirt. I need something from Puerto Rico too.
I got you, boo.
Look, it was a big deal that you won for Puerto Rico. I mean, seriously, like
it was huge.
Like winning a gold, amazing. But I mean, what you accomplished for Puerto Rico, that's historical.
It was great. Honestly, like what you say about the opening ceremonies, like when you walk out into that stadium, the adrenaline rush is like no other thing that you've felt in your whole life. Like I remember thinking to myself, and this is the thing that gives me the most goosebumps out of all of the experiences I've ever had. I was like, it's amazing to think that in this stadium, there are so many athletes that are going to walk away with a medal. And it was my first Olympics, and I was like, oh, I hope one day that could be me. And 8 days later, they were putting the medal around my neck, and I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like, it's something special. Like, the Olympics is just, it's a whole different ballgame.
Like I remember walking on into the village the first time, and I just took a moment and I was like, this is the best of the best of the best of everything in the world.
Yeah.
A really overwhelming moment, but it was like such a cool energy to be around that. I mean, all this dedication, this hard work, all these athletes with their different disciplines with different talent. Like it was, I mean, meeting the athletes, I think, was probably the highlight for me, whether it was fellow Americans in the USA House, whether it was just walking around the village and seeing everyone train. I remember watching the speed walkers train around the village.
Every morning, right? I would see them outside. I would wake up in the morning and just look outside the windows, and you just saw them like going to town all around the village. I was like, damn.
Yes. I mean, and do you remember that? Did you go to the gym?
Yes, I only went to the gym twice.
I mean, I walked in and I was like, this is such a high standard for a gym right now. Like
it was all techno gym. I was impressed. All the treadmills were full. I was like, okay, these people aren't playing around.
Like what? How high of a level was that gym? I mean, does it get any better than that?
It was great. It was amazing. I thought it was great. Did you guys have any rituals with any of, or like things that you would do with any of the other athletes, like when you would get back in the village?
I feel the biggest thing I did was I was collecting pins. So I was, because I was there playing doubles with Coco Vandeweghe. I played mixed with Jack. That's where I got the medal. But Coco and I would basically be looking at everyone's jackets and seeing which flags we don't have. And we'd find some random country. I'd be like, do you want a USA pin? I know
it's so intimidating. Yeah. There was one guy on our team, and he was like he still kind of is like my brother. So we spent like the whole Olympics together, just like talking. Our ritual was actually having dinner. We would always set a time for dinner, and we would walk over to the dining hall together. And after dinner, we would all have Fruit Loops for dessert. Because that was the best dessert in the whole thing. And they still had all the cereal out for dinner. So that was excellent, having Fruit Loops. And it became my favorite cereal from there on out. But he was like the MVP at collecting pins. So he would literally get the pins from the country. Yeah, the countries that had one person representing them, he would have the pins. I'm like, now I can't go to that person and get a pin because you already did it. And I literally told him on several occasions, I was like, okay, I know where you sleep at night, and you better lock your door because
you better keep these in a safe place.
I was like,
I need that Turks and Caicos pin
and take them for myself because I mean, let's be honest, I only traded pins with the tennis players. Okay. But I felt kind of like shy going up to other people in the village and just being like, do you want to trade a pin?
You felt shy?
I know, I'm the social butterfly, and I felt shy.
Okay, so how many pins did you end up getting?
How many pins? 30? 20?
I got like, I think 175.
You see?
I don't know. Actually, you know what? I kept them all in the Olympic, like this water bottle they gave you as a gift, and I have them all there. I'm gonna take them out at some point and like see which ones I got, and then count them.
How about the? They gave cell phones, right? Did you get the cell phones that they were giving out for free? I got mine.
I didn't get it. I didn't get it to work though. Did you go to the McDonald's at the village?
I'm so pissed about that still. To this day, I didn't
go to the athletes village McDonald's.
There was always a line when I wanted to go. Yes. And then the thing is, like, after I won, I was trying to be like really strict while I was competing, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna behave. I'm like focused. This is what I need to do.
Like
I won, and I was like, the only thing I want right now is a Big Mac. Give it to me. There was a line at 11 p.m. when I got back to the village. There was a line, and then I went to the next day. I had to do all of these interviews in Copacabana, and I was wearing my medal. And you should have seen like the looks of the people. Like when you're walking around the village with the medal, they're like. They're all just like staring at you, and everybody's like, you should get in line now and skip the line because you have the medal. Yes. And I was like, no, I can't do that.
You're so nice.
So I didn't do it. So I finished all of my interviews. I went back to the village, got my bags to go to the airport because I had to fly to Cincy. to
Oh,
pull out of
yeah.
the tournament because
No,
I
like
mean,
out.
yeah, my coaches were like, okay, so what are we doing? And I'm like, I'm not playing Cincy. I'm dead.
Well, it was funny because I was doing when I was doing press the day after I won Jack and I won the gold. I was with a lot of other we were on the morning show, Good Morning America, and I was with some other athletes that had just won a gold medal, and so we were all kind of chatting, and they were like, you know, what are you going to do now that you've won the gold medal? You know, I might, you know, have a kid and, you know, start training maybe in a couple of years for the next one, or I'm going to go celebrate for a couple of weeks. And they're like, what are you doing? I was like, I got US Open to play. Like, I got to like fly out today and possibly play 2 more tournaments. Like, this was just a stop in my year right now. Like,
no,
I gotta keep going.
everybody was saying the same thing. Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to stop playing for a little while? Are you just going to relax? Are you going to do this? I was like, I got to get on a plane to Cincinnati because I need to pull out of the tournament in person to avoid the fine. And I need to do a bunch of media. I was like, oh my God. So that whole thing.
We changed that rule, by the way.
Thank God. No, but seriously, this is the best part. It was so stressful. Like, I did well in 2016. Like, I was 34 in the world and all of this stuff. And, you know, I had a pretty decent year. But the Olympics literally flipped my life upside down. So all of a sudden I was getting hit with all of this extra attention. And when I got back, like, people, when I got off the plane in Miami from Rio, people talking to me, people wanting to take pictures. And I literally saw my parents because my parents didn't go, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I saw them, I saw the pup, and they're like, okay, we're going to go and get Cuban breakfast, and literally dropped my bags off. They changed me for another bag because I was going to Cincy for 2 days and went right back to the airport. It was chaos. So then I didn't know. People were waiting for me at baggage claim in Cincy. Like,
but you made history. Like, just
I did, but I never realized how exhausting it was, though. It was exhausting.
You made history for Puerto Rico, though. Like,
it was incredible.
Don't know.
It was incredible. Yeah, I mean, if a lot of people want to see, they can go on YouTube and see what happened in Puerto Rico. The day that I won, and then when we had the whole, like, parade in Puerto Rico when I ended up going back, like, for Puerto Ricans, sports, they literally lift everybody's spirits. Like, it doesn't matter what happens. If there's something good going on in sports, I mean, we have a lot of baseball players, a lot of boxers, basketball's huge, and this just literally lifted everything. It was huge. And just being in Puerto Rico for that moment, the people who were waiting for me outside of the airport when I arrived was bone chilling. Like, I exited the terminal and people were yelling, crying, screaming. I was in a car with 8 police officers escorting me in the front, 8 in the back, people stopping in the middle of the highway because they knew it was my car. And
dude, I'm getting
I was out of the
first
sunroof.
of all.
I was doing like the whole queen wave out of the sunroof, like waving.
Do we have video of this moment of the queen wave?
I don't no. My mom took she was trying to take a video, but ended up taking more of a video of my butt, and like didn't really get. So she didn't really like get me out of the car, but she was like right there behind my butt, and I'm like, Mom, you're not doing this right. It's like up here. But
Mom, all right.
I was like, Mom, okay. No, it was
that's awesome.
It was incredible. Like, Puerto Ricans really, really take the sport seriously because it's amazing how something like that, it just paralyzed the whole island. The day that I played the final and the day that I won, there were no reports of crime, domestic violence, nothing. The streets were empty. Everybody was either in a bar, at the mall, or in other people's homes just watching the event. There was nobody on the road. And
that's
then when I won, my agent like ran to me in between the 7 minutes that we had between the end of the match and the presentation. Yep. He's like, you have to see what's going on in Puerto Rico. And it was video after video after video of like Puerto Rico exploded that day. It was amazing.
That's unreal. That gives me goosebumps. I mean, that's what sports does, and that's what the Olympics can do. It brings
Yes.
people together, and it's like, you know, as hard as we work and as competitive as we are, you know, it's we have such a bigger impact that we can make outside of us, outside of our
Yes.
wins and losses. And that's one of the reasons why I love sports, and I love
Yes.
playing in front of stadiums and in front of crowds. Like when you can elicit that emotion, not just from yourself competing, but from other people just being a part of your journey. Like that's like
Or
what it's
just
about, man. I'm like
influencing
turned up here.
influencing the youth of tomorrow. I mean, how many people have come up to you and just be like, I want to be like you when I grow up? And when
Yeah.
these little kids, they say something like that to you, you're just looking at them like, wow, I'm definitely making a difference in this person's life. And that's why it's always encouraging, and why we stop to sign autographs, and when we stop to give people even 2 minutes of our time to talk to them, after a changeover or something during a practice, because you never know, if you ignore that one person, they're probably just going to be like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And it's
Yep.
that thing that if you just like take the time and just realize this little person is looking up to me to be their example, if I give the time to talk to them or give them a piece of advice, you never know the difference that you're making in that person's life. And I feel like
Yeah.
sports really gives you an opportunity to touch other people's lives, to help out in a negative situation. You never know what somebody's going through, and if you even just pay attention to them or hug them or just spend time, you can really, really make a difference. And that's
Yep.
sports is bone chilling that way.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And this is why, you know, again, Olympics getting moved, it's a disappointment, but I think looking forward to next year, and even when we start up playing tennis again, I think we're all going to appreciate more than just our wins and losses, but you know, how much the sport has given us, how much we can give by playing the sport.
And also be more unified. I feel like tennis is a very individual sport, and I don't feel like we spend enough time with our, they are our competitors, but let's be honest, we're all in this together. We see each other week in, week out, every single day. We go through the
Yep.
same struggles. I
Yep.
mean, we cry after losses, we cry after wins. We need to be there for one another, because that's why it's so nice doing these Instagram lives, and it's so nice to just like kind of be involved in the process of what everybody's doing, because it's amazing.
Yeah, no, and I've honestly found some of my best friends in life, you know, on the tour. I mean, we, like you said, we're there week in and week out. I mean, we're one of the only sports where we share a locker room before we go out and play. Like, you
Right.
know, I think as a tennis player, we live for the competition and we leave it out on the court. Like,
Yes.
we talk after the match, we talk before the match, and I think
I've talked to you, I think, like seconds before walking on court.
we've like walked out talking to each other up until like the coin toss, and I'm like, this is gonna be a 3-set match, isn't it? And you're like, yep. All right. It's like, all right.
Because that's the thing. We just know that we're going to push each other to the brink of everything. And I mean, it doesn't really matter, because you go on the court, you want to kill each other. And afterward, you're just kind of like, if you beat me, you know what? You were too good today. If I beat you, you know what? You were too good. The next time, we're going to kill each other again. It's just like that. I mean,
And they're like, by the way, do you want to practice tomorrow? And then we can grab
they're
dinner
right.
afterwards.
Right? It's like, okay, I have a court at 10 a.m. You better show up. And then okay, let's be honest. We spend most of the practice talking than we actually do hitting.
We actually do. Yeah. Our water breaks are kind of long, but it's good. Like, we feel good. We play good. I think it's a good practice. It's quality.
If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it, just keep talking during water breaks.
I'm in. Done. Like, whenever we come out of all this, sign me up for the practice court. Just let me know what time.
It's probably going to be from 7 to 9, because you know us.
Okay, fine.
7 to 9.
I like the morning. No, I like the morning practices. That's fine. You get there early. We have time to talk.
That's the thing at the U.S. Open. Some people are like, why do we never see you practicing in New York? And I'm like, well,
because I'm there at 4 a.m.
Yeah, because pretty much I sleep in the locker room, and I'm just there. Plus, the locker room is actually a lot comfier now than it has been in the previous years, so you can pretty much sleep on the floor and get a good night's sleep.
Yeah, no, you could actually. So kudos for the U.S. Open stepping up their locker room.
Let
That French
let's
Open's locker room is pretty good.
no, let's give the viewers a little bit of an inside of what the locker room is like. Is the locker room, or is the locker room not a place just to escape from your team? Yes or no?
Accurate.
A lot of the girls, and we're really lucky that a majority of the coaches on the WTA tour are men. So they cannot get in our locker room. I have talked to several players from the ATP, and they are so jealous that our coaches can't get in the locker room, because after a match, we can just go in there and hang out for an hour or two and just kind of like cool
Be like,
down.
bye.
It's like,
I'll
see
see
ya,
you in
peace.
an
Don't want to
hour.
see you. Yeah, so yeah, the locker room is pretty much where all the gossip happens. So we are normal people.
Yep.
We like to gossip and know what's going on. Gossip.
Yeah, you
That is a
usually know
place
what's
where we
going
go
on.
to sneak the munchies. Like our trainers,
do I need to
our
come to your
physios have been
locker?
known to bring some like really delicious snacks in there.
Yes.
And
I'm in charge of snacks usually, as like on the court for my doubles teammates. And if you go in my locker, you will always find a minimum of 5 different snacks in there. Like I got everyone.
And how
No
am I
need to
just
be
learning
hangry.
about this now?
I've told you this.
No, you didn't.
Okay, so now you know. Snacks in my locker. You're allowed.
If I need a snack, I'm just gonna be like, open Bethany's locker. She said I could.
I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna have nothing left, crumbs, like in my locker. It's okay.
And then you walk over to my locker and you see me just hiding inside, just like chewing on something. You're like, Monica, is that mine? I'm like, no.
I was like, is that my chocolate? That
I'm gonna be
saving
like,
for post-match?
I'm gonna be like, no, it's not. Of course it's not.
All right, buddy. Well, this has been awesome. I feel like we need to do this again.
Yes, we definitely do.
Wear your gold all day today. I'm gonna be wearing mine.
Yeah,
So
I miss it.
I'll be going
so
to
it's
my
nice.
backyard to
It's
the pool.
nostalgic. So I'll just keep it on for the rest of the day.
Okay, but we'll do this again. Take care. I miss you.
I miss you too.
And give your dogs a kiss for me.
Yeah, they've been naughty today, so they're inside.
Okay.
Bye, girl.
See you.